and you don't seem to understand. A shame you seemed an honest man.
Yo, it is Hannah, and we are back at it again with the hashtag van life vlogs. Being back home for the holidays and serving tables back at my gig at home absolutely flew by, and it was already time to say goodbye to my sweet girls at home, Lulu and Maisie. Goodbye, girls. I'll see you in December. But we've got Olive. This is her riding shoddy, and she did throw up on day one. She just hadn't quite gotten her traveling legs back yet, and it's okay. We made a pit stop in Joplin, Missouri, where I heated up some meal prepped frozen pizza in the truck stop microwave, because I'm not letting my frozen groceries at home go to waste. I meal prepped all that stuff because I pay for those groceries, goddammit. And also, I didn't want to spend so much money on fast food and gas station snacks, but here we are, getting good old-fashioned McDonald's breakfast. But hey, that's a treat because I really only get it on road trips, and I love McGriddles. Now we're in Texas. By the way, we spent the night in Oklahoma City the night before. But yeah, I was so excited to be in Texas because I've really never explored this giant state, and I was so ready to see Big Bend National Park. From all the pictures, it just looks gorgeous. Okay, update. We are in Marfa, Texas right now. And yes, this sweatshirt, you probably are going to see me in it in like the 3 videos that are going to be in my channel and multiple times in the vlogs. This is my emotional support sweatshirt right now, so don't judge me. And my hair is absolutely crazy because it's been in this bun all day, but I took it down to try to look like a little nicer for the video, but I just look like a crazy lunatic. But anyways, yes, we are in Marfa, Texas right now. We stayed in Oklahoma City last night, and we're on our way to Big Bend National Park. So we're gonna camp here at the Marfa Lights rest stop, and I'm really hoping we can see the UFO lights. We're about to go out and check it out, but yeah, I just want to do like a little quick talking to the camera update because I haven't really been filming much because I've been driving non-stop. It's been a lot of driving the past 2 days, but we'll have like shorter driving days for the next few days to come, which is super nice. And tomorrow we're gonna explore the national park, and I'm so excited about that. But bad news is the license plate fell off the motorcycle.
Horrible news.
Horrible news. So we gotta file a police report tomorrow so he can have a case number. So if we get pulled over or something, hopefully we just get a pass because it's a Missouri license plate and we're in Texas. And we don't really have any plans of being back in Missouri until we fly back for our friend's wedding in June. So hopefully it's not that big of a deal and nothing bad comes of this. But anyways, yep, that's the update. We're about to go have fun now and try not to think about the license plate theft. Because we just found that out like 2 seconds ago. He goes, pull over, I need to check something. And then he gets in the car and he goes,
Fucking license plate's gone.
crap! I cannot stress enough how like truly dark it is outside. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna turn my flashlight off. Give me 1 sec. And then that's the road. That's the visitor center. The van. It's crazy dark. You can see every star in the sky. It's so beautiful. This was me trying to see if any of it would show up on camera, and you can see a little bit, the really bright ones. And then I took this creepy Blair Witch shot of the van. I don't know why, but it's morning time now anyways. Alright, I'm trying espresso for the first time. This is a very cute mug that Caleb's grandma Sandy got us. But Caleb would prefer to use the plastic one with the naked woman on it. I think it needed some cream and sugar. Anyways, Big Bend National Park, woo!
I wonder what's up with it because some of them are purplish greenish. So is it like a pigmentation thing or is it like a young thing? Also, someone's been munching on these, it looks like maybe.
Dude, it was so awesome here. I cannot recommend coming here enough. And then we got the bike down and we rode the bike through it. And that took it to another level because this is a really big and like remote park. So it felt like we had the entire world to ourselves. It was so cool.
What did you say you were afraid of running into again?
The hall gratas, or what I call them, jubilees or whatever. Like, white American ignorance.
Yeah, he called the javelina a javelina.
Whoops.
Watch out for the javelina.
Whoops.
We ended up doing the Santa Elena Canyon hike, which is a really pretty, like, 2-mile out and back hike. I have not gone hiking really in a minute. I was in winter hibernation, so I wasn't really up for anything too intense. But this was gorgeous. You go up some switchbacks, and then you get beautiful views of the Rio Grande River and the canyon. People were swimming in it. And then we headed back to the van. This park is so huge. I honestly wish I would have given myself, like, an extra day here. Definitely want to come back and do more. After we got in the van, we headed to Terralingua Ghost Town, which is one of the only ghost towns left in America, and had like some of the best Mexican food we've ever had. I love corn, all corn, but especially street corn. Look at me devour this. I'm in heaven. That restaurant was like a BYOB situation, so we headed over to the bar in town to get some margaritas, and I fully expected this place to be like a monopoly because, like I said, it's the only bar in town. I was like willing to pay $17-18 for a margarita, but very reasonable, $12 and some live music. And then we slept in this roadside little picnic area just in the middle of the town. Very chill. And in the morning we went over here to the gas station, which was like a 4-in-1 because it was also a restaurant, a market, an RV park, and like a sandwich deli type place. Very chill. I got some delicious Prickly Pear Texas Shiner beer. I probably will never see it again in my life, but it was bomb. Then we went back up towards Marfa and we explored Alpine, Texas, and we just walked around the little shops. I ended up buying this awesome chili lime chamoy sauce, and I would put that on the rim of the Prickly Pear Cactus beers, and it was so good. We geocached before we left, and of course we had to stop at the Marfa, Texas Prada art exhibit thing and take some cunty pictures. I didn't even know we'd be driving by this place. I always saw it on Pinterest, so whenever Caleb was like, what was that? And I looked around and I saw what it was. I was like, we're going back and taking pics right now, dude. But yeah, after that, we continued on the road. Texas is fucking giant, so it takes like 9 years to get anywhere else. But luckily for us, we only had like a 3-hour drive today. We headed up to Guadalupe National Park. This national park was interesting because it was really just like 4 trails, and most people summit the mountain. Like I said, I'm a little out of shape, so I was not summiting a mountain today. Also, we didn't have much sunlight, so we did the Devil's Hall Trail instead, which you pretty much just scrambled up this wash until you got to this like little natural bathtub thing and a slot canyon. And then on our walk back, we caught a beautiful sunset going down over the mountains. And then we drove about an hour to stay in Carlsbad, New Mexico for the night.
Okay, so elephant in the room, my voice. I'm now deathly ill. I did have like a tiny fake cold, and now I have full-blown cold. One thing about me is I'm always going to be late for just about anything, and we missed the last entry for Carlsbad Caverns Cave, and that's pretty much the only thing to do at the national park is the cave, so we are actually paying money to stay at the campground right below the national park tonight, which I was totally okay with because, like I said, I'm deathly ill, and I get to run the electric heater all night. I don't have to worry about blowing through a ton of propane. We get to recharge our stuff. I get a hot shower as many times as I'd like. I get the bathroom whenever I please, not in the van, which is so nice because when I'm sick, my stomach is also pretty sick. So we're just about to pull into our RV site. We got our little thing to hang on the windshield, but we're just kind of exploring this gift shop right now before we just chill out tonight. We're gonna have tacos, we're gonna play video games so we can plug in our laptop since we have electric.
I picked up some of that good shit in the gift store, and then we set up camp down at the little campground, which is really tiny and really cute. Unfortunately, though, the bathroom was not as great as I would have liked. I had like the ice cold concrete floor, but hey, a hot shower is a hot shower, especially when you're deathly ill. And then in the morning, we got up reluctantly. I was so sick this day, but made our way up the mountain into the cave, and wow, this was one of the coolest national parks I've ever been in. And I've been to Mammoth National Park too, which is another cave. But wow, this was out of this world. It was so cool. They had all this like built throughout it, and it was all like self-exploratory, whereas Mammoth you have to pay for like a guided tour. But yeah, if you've ever watched or read the Mystery Flesh Pit ARG or like interacted with it at all, that was the only thing on my mind when I was in here, because that creepy ARG is inspired by Carlsbad Caverns. But yeah, this was so cool, and like I said, I absolutely loved that we were able to explore this on our own pace, and it was much more well lit than Mammoth Cave is too. However, Mammoth Cave is larger and arguably more mysterious, claimed to be very haunted. I don't know, that's all I'm saying. But here's a clip of Caleb driving afterwards, because I was way too ill to stay awake, and I never let anyone else drive, so that's saying something. But here we are at White Sands National Park. We made it here with moments to spare before it closed. Like, we had 30 minutes, which gave us time to catch this gorgeous sunset setting over the dunes. And then we came back in the morning because we were like, well, shit, we like barely got any time here, and we found out you can rent sleds. However, this is not snow, so don't get your hopes up. We were not flying down the dunes. Caleb bought wax and everything. He thought he was going to be going like lightning speed down these things. Here's what it really looked like. So then he goes to this giant dune, and he's like, no, this one, I'll catch some speed. But, yeah, it didn't really work out either. So after that, we headed to Albuquerque, and our first stop, Caleb made me drive by the Breaking Bad house, which is just a house in a random subdivision, and they really don't want you here. There's like a million signs saying, like, take your picture across the street and leave us alone. So after that, we headed downtown to a pinball bar. I always want to try to find like a little bit of an alternative scene everywhere I go, and honestly, Albuquerque is pretty punk, but this place rocked. They had a pinball tournament going on that night, so it was a little crazy. Awesome Taco Tuesday specials. Then in the morning, Caleb went and DoorDashed for like 5 or so hours, and then we got lunch when he was done, and we tried out this vegan spot with authentic New Mexican food, and oh my gosh, even if you're not vegan, you should go, because it was crazy good. Then we went to Old Town so we could check out the Breaking Bad gift shop and museum, and then Old Town just has like a ton of souvenir shops and like little restaurants and cafes and art galleries, stuff like that, so that was cute just to walk around and check everything out there. There was even some little kitties that belonged to one of the art shops. I wish I would have taken their videos because they were so cute and so fat and so fluffy. But yeah, then we hit the road again. This is us having a classic dinner in America. BK Whopper Wednesday. And then we crashed at a rest stop. This is me brushing my teeth in there before heading to Flagstaff in the morning. I have never heard of this national park before, but it was en route to Flagstaff. So of course we stopped. We're trying to go to all national parks eventually in this lifetime. But it was Painted Desert / Petrified Forest National Park. That was a little petroglyph of olive right there. There were so many petroglyphs around here, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I am such a nerd about petroglyphs. They are so mysterious and so cool. Here's one of the petrified trees. Like, who knew trees could turn to crystal under the right conditions? After this, we made it to Flagstaff, and we hit the trail immediately before the sun went down on us.
We have reached the halfway point on the Fat Man's Loop, because we are fat asses at heart, and it's really showing for me because I'm so out of breath. I think it's gonna be less incline now though, but by the end of the season, this is gonna be like a walk in the park for me. This is me training. I guess right now we're wannabe hikers, but like by the end of the summer, we're gonna be like real hikers.
I have natural athleticism.
He's a fat ass.
Here is the viewpoint from like the photo op spot of the hike. It's pretty cool. Flagstaff has just a ton of hikes in the middle of the city. So that was cool. We wrapped up this hike, and then we headed into the downtown area, which was very similar to like Marquette, Michigan when we were there. We went here and got some espresso martinis and Irish coffees, and it was delish. Hit the spot because it was cold here. It's been really cold. We've been running like the propane heater every night. So I'm very excited to be in Vegas where it's a bit warmer. I love Flagstaff though, and I would like to spend more time there. But the next day we decided to take ourselves to the Grand Canyon. We did this hike, which had me huffing and puffing. The way down, not bad. We went all the way down these switchbacks and then all the way back up them. Once we made it to Uwa Point, you just turn around and do it in reverse. But it was absolutely gorgeous. I really thought the Grand Canyon was like overhyped, and then I went there and I saw it and I did the hike and I saw this bighorn sheep and I was like, okay, I get it. One of these days I'll actually get into backpacking and I'll secure the permit for that hike that takes you through the Grand Canyon. You get to see like the Glacier Blue waterfalls and all of that. But for now, that was all we did at the Grand Canyon, and then we headed to Vegas to meet up with Caleb's family. This whole first stint of being back on the road again was for the purpose of driving out to Vegas to meet up with them for this 2-week family vacation. They were so nice enough to invite me along on. So we get to stay in a cushy hotel for 2 weeks. Unfortunately, we did have to sneak Olive in because Hilton says she's too stinky for the hotel room. But yeah, we ended up loving Vegas so much. We stayed in Vegas for like a month total, even after the family vacation was over and we had checked out of that hotel. So in my next travel vlog, you'll see what we got up to for about a month total in Vegas. For now, though, thank you for watching this road trip vlog, and I will see you in the next one.